and welcome to Horse Racing Radar. Today we are going to be talking about the building blocks of horse racing and betting. The first thing to understand is that you are not betting against the house or track. You are wagering against other bettors. It's called pari mutuel wagering. All of the wagers from around the world are placed into buckets dubbed wagering pools. Taxes and the house take are deducted from the pools and winning bets share the rest. For example, if 10 people bet $10 on horses to win, $100 is deposited into the win bucket. If $10 goes to taxes and the house take, that leaves $90 in the win pool. Let's say 2 people pick the winning horse. They split the $90 and receive $45 each. That's the process for all bets. The most basic and popular bets are win, place, and show. Win, you must pick the winner of the race to win the bet. Place. Place is horse racing jargon for second. Your horse must finish first or second to win a place bet. Show. Show is another way to say third. Your horse must finish first, second, or third to win a show bet. Now, let's talk a little bit about odds. You'll see them in the program. They're called morning line odds and are set by the odds maker. The odds will change as the horse players make their win bets. The horse with the lowest odds when the race starts is called the post-time favorite. Now, the post-time favorite wins approximately 30% of the time and finishes in the top 3 roughly 70% of the time. Win bet payouts are calculated using $2 and it's easy to determine potential winnings. Whether you are at the track or on the internet, you will see live odds next to the horse's numbers. Most of the time, odds are displayed as a simple number like 7, which stands for 7 to 1 odds. Sometimes it's a fraction like 7 over 2. To determine how much you can win, simply take $2 and multiply it by the odds. In our examples, $2 times 7 and $2 times 7 over 2, or $2 times 3.5. The 7 to 1 odds pay $14 in profits, plus you get the $2 bet back, so the total payout is at least $16. It's the same math for 7 over 2. Calculating how much a place or show bet will pay is more complicated, but just know it's almost always less than a win bet. Before we move on to more advanced wagers, now would be a good time to talk about picking a horse to win, as most wagers are centered on picking the winner. At the track or online, you can purchase programs that are loaded with information to help you with your picks. One of the first things you will see at the top of the page is the name of the track and the race type. You'll need the name of the track to place your bet. The race type isn't so important for beginners, but as you develop your skills, it can be a useful tool. The next you'll notice is a big, bold number. That's the race number for that day's schedule. Again, race number is essential when making your bets. More detailed information is usually to the right of the race number, most of which is unnecessary for newbies, but there are a few important pieces. The distance of the race and the surface are 2 must-know pieces of information. For the most common races, the distance is displayed in furlongs or miles. 1 furlong is horse racing speak for 1/8 of a mile. Most tracks have a dirt and turf course. When the race is on turf or grass, it will be listed after the distance. If no surface is listed, it's almost always run on dirt. There is an exception. A handful of tracks have a synthetic surface instead of dirt. The 2 most popular are Woodbine in Canada and Golden Gate Fields in California. We'll come back to surface and how to use it in a minute. Horses are listed by program number and name below the race info. You'll also see the morning line odds. The jockey's name and statistics are usually found below the horse's name. Typically, you'll see a series of 4 numbers followed by a percent. The first number is the number of races at the track, followed by first, second, and third place finishes. The percent figure is the winning percent for the jockey. You'll find that some jockeys win more often than the others. That's because the best jockeys usually get to ride the best horses. As a wise horse player said, "I've seen horses carry the jockey over the finish line, but I've never seen the jockey carry a horse over the line." Jockeys are important and should be a factor when considering between multiple horses. To the right of the jockey data, you'll find the same stats for the horse's trainer. Trainers are responsible for entering horses into races. The better trainers have a feel for when and where their horses should race. We consider trainer numbers to be slightly more important than jockey stats. Keep that in mind when making your selections. To the far right of the jockey and trainer info, you'll find the horse's record. It's usually divided into a few categories: lifetime racing record, current year record, last year's record, record at today's track, record on fast dirt, record on an off track, record at the distance, record on turf, and occasionally their synthetic track record noted as AW. A quick side note, a fast track is usually a dry, hard track where the horses run faster times. A wet track is when it rains or snows and the track becomes different degrees of wet, ranging from good to sloppy. If it's a dry day, use the fast numbers. If it's raining and wet, use the off numbers. Some horses do better on a wet track than on a fast one, and vice versa. We focus on recent form using the current year stats and record at track, followed closely by surface and distance records. Just like any other athlete, horses perform better under certain circumstances. They may like grass more than dirt. They may be better sprinters than distance runners. They might prefer one track over another, and so on. Understanding these preferences could help you pick more winners. So, now you know the race number, the distance and surface, morning line odds, jockey, trainer, and horse statistics. This information alone will help you organize your opinion on the best horses in the race. The next step is to look at the horse's most recent races. The block of data records the horse's latest efforts. The easiest thing to look for is running style. Horses with 1s or 2s are called speed horses. They tend to do better in sprints, races that are less than a mile. Horses with 3s and 4s, and sometimes 5s, are stalkers. They tend to do best when there are too many speed horses in a race. What's too many? That depends on the number of horses in the race. Generally speaking, anything over 4 is too many. Stalkers perform and can win at any distance. Horses with 5s and 6s and higher are called closers. They like to let the leaders tire out and pass them at the end of the race, or at the wire as it's called. Closers tend to do better in longer races as it gives them more time to pass the horses in front of them. Closing makes it more difficult to win a race, as many times the horse will need to overcome obstacles on their way to the front, like being blocked by horses in front of them, needing to weave in and out of traffic, and passing stalkers or sprinters that may not be tired. Now you understand the building blocks of horse racing and picking a winner. Look at distance and surface. Identify the horses with running styles that fit the distance, that like the surface, that have performed well recently and at the track if possible. Use jockey and trainers to break ties. So, now you've gone through the program, picked your horse, and it's time to make your winning bet. At the track, you go to the teller, announce the track, the race number, the amount you want to bet, the type of bet, and the horse's program number. It sounds like this: Gulfstream Park, race 3, $2 to win, on the 1. On the computer, either at home or on the track, the process is the same. First, you select the track, then the race number, then the bet type and dollar amount. And then you pick your horse or horses. Press enter, submit bet. Sit back and cheer your pick on. It's that easy. As we mentioned, win betting is the most popular. Many horse players used advanced wagers in hopes of winning more money. The two most common are EXACTAs and TRIFECTAs. EXACTA. To win an EXACTA, you must pick the winner and second place in exact order, hence EXACTA. Some tracks call it perfecta. TRIFECTA. A trifecta, as you probably already figured out, requires you to pick the first, second, and third place horses in exact order. You aren't limited in how many horses you can pick to finish first, second, and third in EXACTAs and TRIFECTAs. Just know that using more horses increases your chances of winning, but costs more money. Hopefully, you feel more confident looking at the program and having a better sense of handicapping basics. Like anything else, you'll get better at it the more you do it. Please keep in mind that gambling is meant for entertainment. Only gamble money you can afford to lose, and please seek help if you have a gambling problem or suffer from any addiction. Lastly, you may find tip sheets around the track or the internet. These are picks by professional handicappers, which might help when combined with your own picks. Our favorite is called Guaranteed Tip Sheet and may be found at guaranteedtipsheet.com. Thanks for joining us today. We have a lot of information for beginners and advanced horse players alike spread around the site. Have a look and good luck at the races.